Kia ora tātou, ko John Hoirero tōku ingoa. I'm here today with Tom Anderson and James Mossiet. Just thought we'd do something a bit different on the podcast and have a bit of a kōrero with our club captain. So I guess for an intro, I'll start and then hand it to my right. So Jordan's my name. Schooling, I went to Te Oti College, left there in 2009. Did a bit of a dash down in Dunedin and came back to the club here in 2015. So this is year 10 for me. Currently jumping between the Prems and the Prem Reserves, but also sit on our board, kind of the player's voice, and try to look after our social media as much as we can. So yeah, that's a bit about me. And I'll flick that over to you.
Yeah, kia ora, Tom Anderson. I'm the club captain here at Pōneke. I've been in the role since 2018. And yeah, it's one I really enjoy and value. Did all my schooling Wellington College, so grew up in Mornington, just a short 45-minute walk away. I know that because I had to do it when I was a kid. And yeah, went to school Wellington College, did my university down in Dunedin, and started back here in 2007 when Rocket was 28.
21. Yeah, kia ora. Rocket, it is year 10 for me as well. Joined in 2015. My brother-in-law, Jim Morrisavai, sort of nudged me to come along for a pre-season training, and sort of been stuck here ever since. Played for, I think, every single team at the club so far other than the Wanderers. So played for the Rats, the Roughnecks, Prems, Prem 2s.
Coached a woman.
Coached the women. So yeah, safe to say we're not going anywhere. Love this club and continue to be here.
Nice, shot team. Well, I guess first and foremost, Ando, particularly to you, welcome. Can you talk a little bit about what the club captain actually does? Because there's like a few roles on our board. But yeah, what is the club captain? What's the kind of job that you do?
Yeah, in terms of board roles, it really is the looking after the rugby side of Pōneke. Obviously, we've got the financial side, which is DT. We've got the presidency, which is got overall with Jacko, and we've got the chair with Shanksy, and then numerous others on the board, which are all very important because they provide great counsel to the rest of us and help with the decision making. But yeah, really I'm in charge of the rugby side of things. So I like to look at it as kind of the manager of the managers of all the teams, and try and set a structure in place whereby those different managers can look after their own teams, and then I'll try and do it from a club level. So trying to be across the detail as much as I can without being in the weeds too much, I guess. But that's the long and the short of it there.
Cool. So it's a pretty busy role, and I guess it's a thankless role at some stages, but I think it's a vital role for our club to move forward.
I don't reckon it's that thankless. Like, I know that sounds like
it does sound like it though, right?
It does sound like it, but like I know that everybody in this club is incredibly grateful when you do things. Like, people are pretty good at showing their appreciation around here. So that's part of the reason I do it.
And I guess you've kind of also, along the side of being club captain, you also put your hand up to help coach the Prem 2s. This year, I thought it might have been a player coach with Rocket kind of having a coach at the same time. But
I think it might have been asked.
What are you kind of looking forward to in that space?
Oh, the challenge. Like, as I say, I've been doing this role for a long time in the club captaincy space, and I've seen coaches come and go, and it's always been something that's kind of interested me, but I haven't been able to get into that space for other reasons. But the opportunity came up this year to coach alongside my good mate Fraser, and also Phil Katane's going to be helping out in that space as well, and I played with Phil when I was at Pōneke in 2008, 2009 when he was here, so it's cool to reconnect with those old mates, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's a great bunch of lads that we got in the senior squad set up, and it's going to be a fun year, I think.
It's obviously like some big shoes to fill in there with Tui stepping down into the Colts, and then so are we sort of looking to repeat sort of the same pre-game speeches that Tui was giving, or are you going to give us a different vibe in that space?
There'll be a different vibe in the space in terms of the oratory. For me, won't quite hit those levels that Tui. I've never been able to give the Gettysburg Address in the way that Tui can, and I love that element of his coaching, but we'll be more reliant on organisational and sort of surgical precision around certain things that I think we can do really well out of the Premier 2 room, and relying on the senior players that come down from the Premier team from time to time to give us that motivation that the words that Tui gives us. Tui's he's not going to be shy in helping out and giving me some words to use in his text messages before or after games either.
I think we can all attest to the texts and the DMs that I've been getting from Tui too. He always wants something.
Mate, just to set the record absolutely straight, Tui is one of the greats of this club.
Oh,
100%.
100%. We love it. We love that you're you, but I'm not you, so I'm not going to do the same thing. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your playing days, Ando. So we've just finished our kind of longest day. You presented some of your taonga that you were gifted. You talked a little bit about your playing day. So what did that look like for you in terms of being here at Pōneke?
Yeah, I think I mentioned upstairs earlier on, like my desire to play for this club started in 1996 when I was a ball boy at Athletic Park, and I saw Waddy hold the Jubilee Cup up, and those same things I'm talking about before around the sort of the gratefulness of the club members and the inclusion of the club members was evident then. Like, I had nothing to do with Pōneke, but I felt like I was a part of that team somehow. Like, they just brought us along on the journey, took us into the change rooms, like we celebrated with them. It was pretty amazing. For no other club we had ballboard for. Every other club used to play at Athletic Park from time to time as well. So we'd be there every Saturday, me, Shanksy and a few others. And it all happened because we went to Swiss, the school across the road. But that from then, I was kind of like, man, when I leave college, so I started college in 1998, when I leave college, I want to play club rugby at Pōneke. I also read Josh Kronfeld's book when I was in sixth form, and I thought, I don't know what I'm going to study, but I'm going to Dunedin. So I did that for 5 years. 2 degrees, three degree and then a 2-year masters afterwards. So it was a good 5 years. But that last year, my 5th year, I would come back up. I was playing for varsity down in Dunedin, and the seasons just for some reason didn't quite align. So like, we'd have a holiday down there, and I'd come up and I'd go and play the old senior 2 team.
Yep.
So it was like Pat Nada was playing in it, Fred Baker was playing it, my good mate Lance Purdy was in it. Who else was there? Darren Eagle. So some really old names from that 1996 team.
Yep.
And then some of the battlers. So I played that in my holidays. Had a couple of runs with the senior ones, and then in 2008 when I came back to Wellington for work, joined the club on a permanent basis. Made my Premier debut 2009, and then just started breaking my legs and ended up finishing up in 2012. Yeah, so yeah. But no, it's good. I look back on the playing days with fond memories. Like, we had Jacko's one of my best mates now. He was coach, and Waddy was, and like, Waddy's just one of, I think, the classiest coaches I've ever seen. So it's awesome to be exposed to the chalk and cheese of those guys. Grant Cedarwell teaching us. I thought I knew how to party after 5 years in Dunedin, and then I met Seeds and realised it was a whole nother level.
He's still partying to this day.
Yeah, mate.
He's still going out of Moxham last season. He was down there.
He's outstanding, eh? So yeah,
the stamina of the man too, right?
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. And his wife, they're both just as good as each other at showing the rest of us how to party. So respect them for that.
Jeez. So it sounds like you kind of had a great career in terms of being here at Pōneke. Something drew you back to the club. Do you have any kind of club highlights that kind of sticks out to you from a playing perspective?
We didn't win anything, but we were constantly in the Jubilee Cup semi-finals. My Premier debut is a highlight for obvious reasons. That was the first game of 2009 against Norths. Norths had, Johnny Schwalger and Anthony Peronese in the front row. They had to play Jacob Ellison at lock because the front rows were already full. Alapati Leoa was at centre, so they were stacked, and we beat them comfortably, like 34-17 or something. So that was a definite highlight. but every year we made the semi-finals, we lost to Norths. Like, we qualify first, they qualify fourth, and they get us then. So I guess there's a little bit of not unfinished business, but I've just got this gnawing desire to get involved in a team that wins the next Jubilee Cup for Pōneke.
Yeah, and I guess particularly Norths and Pūrero Park are just a different beast out there, right? You know.
Was it last year we were able to top them for the first time in Email reckons in about 10 years?
For the second time in a row. Yeah, first time we beat them 2 years in a row in a long time. So
that's a trophy, the Cyril Collett, that hasn't really sit in our club that many times, but when we always get it back, it's always quite a nice little...
Sitting upstairs now, man.
It's always good to have that trophy back here.
Yeah, and that's Cyril Collett is Phil Cutton's grandfather, so there's nice historical links and connections, eh?
My father played for Norths too, so he always talks about, you know, the battles with Pōneke, and particularly Norths, I don't want me to go back on, but Norths would always trying to get up on us, always, regardless of who it was, so can tell that all those battles are always pretty hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's shift into reflection of 2023. So you've been here a few years now, obviously. Reflecting on 2023, on where the club was, what was kind of your highlights of 2023?
I think the obvious highlight from a club perspective was watching the Rough-Nuts win the JD Cup. The Rough-Nuts, that was awesome. They I was going to say my favourite team in the club, but I don't really can't distinguish between, even if I'm coaching, I'm not distinguishing between them. So that's a highlight. The Colts making their Div 2 final and having a good showing against a team which had put a score on them earlier in the year. Prem 2s, unfortunately going down in the last minute to a Randall Bishop miracle penalty goal that we don't need to dwell on. You know, the Prems didn't have a great year given the heights they'd scaled in 2022. The women's did a reasonable job of holding together, I thought. So I think I say it in the annual report every year, like we got really good bones, and I can see the potential in all our players, but I think what sometimes it comes down to is that we don't necessarily believe we're going to win those small moments, and that's one thing I really want all our teams to do this year, is just take that ability to believe in ourselves, that we'll get across the line and just to back ourselves in any situation, because we've got the talent, we've got the fitness, we've got the work ethic. So
yeah, and I guess that's some of the conversations we had upstairs this afternoon around trend setting and making sure we kind of stay in the moment and all that kind of order. And sometimes we tend to switch off a little bit, so bring us back to centre is kind of the conversation we're having, eh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it sounds like the club in 2023, obviously we're all here, had a good year in terms of a club perspective. Let's shift over now to 2024. I know you've been involved in some of the pre-season stuff. What are your thoughts initially in terms of how we're shaping?
Fitness is good. Shape's good. Numbers are down a bit across all our club teams. And I think that's going to be a trend across all club rugby, talking to others as well, involved in different clubs in Wellington. But yeah, I think again we got the ability, we got the potential, we got the talent, we got people with the work ethic. We just need to find a way to stitch it all together, and to get that blend between the player led and the management led and the coaching led. It's that perfect kind of Venn diagram that makes it click, eh?
I guess that's one of the big things, right? So 2024 has seen sort of a massive change in the coaching and management ranks within our club. Sort of how have you seen that transition right, from last season heading into this pre-season?
I always find it hard. Like, we had to change some of the coaching and management group from last year for various reasons, people stepping down and so forth. I love and respect every single person who puts their hand up voluntarily to come, or even not voluntarily, everyone that wants to come and help out around the club. But I think after last year, a fresh start was kind of what was needed, and but also knowing that we needed some sort of continuity as well, because that's equally important for having people who understand our player base in those selectorial positions. So I'm hoping, as I do every year, that we've got the balance right. I'm confident that we've nailed it, and I'm confident in how I'm seeing the boys react to the structures that are being put in place in that senior squad, that will go okay.
Cool.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, I think you're right in terms of having a balance between fresh eyes but also continuity. So still having Reg and Tobes in the fold in terms of they know the player base, they understand kind of some of the outside stuff. It's not just footy. And then having Neke and Bondi come in and kind of steer us a little bit and having different voices. And Bondi's been really good at people management, I think, the last kind of like month or so, particularly around pre-season, and Neke with all his experience, you know, it's just kind of like different voices in different spaces, which we'll see what that comes through during the season, but at the moment it's feeling like a really cool environment.
Yeah, there's definitely a really good vibe and a buzz around the pre-season at the moment.
Yeah, it feels like I'm not even doing fitness, sometimes. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm actually fit. First time in a while. Somewhat.
There's always room for more.
Always room for more.
He's speaking for himself, obviously. I'm sure every pre-season there is. Yeah.
You know your body.
What about any kind of players or management that have kind of caught your eye a little bit, or you like the look of in pre-season? New or old?
Yeah, I think like there's guys like Mitch Goff has come in with that boxing background, which I think we've seen the wrestling today, and his ability to squash people was that was really eye catching. He's obviously put some work in. He's fitter than what I've seen him in the past, and I see that in his Broncos and whatnot. In terms of newbies, Isaiah Opai coming home. It's awesome to have him back in the fold. I remember watching him as a junior and watching him when he was at the Great Dub C, carving up there. And he played for varsity down in Dunedin, which is who I played for as well. So again, looking forward to seeing him out there doing that thing. There's a few other guys that are. Yeah, well, I don't want to single players out, but
it's kind of hard.
Because everybody has got such great potential. The English boys that have turned up all look really sharp. Dev's done a great job having him here as well. Really excited to see DJ back. Really excited to see guys like Ciali, Callum Smith, Adam McCrandle and the like step up during the season on the Premier field as well. Guys that have been grafting away in the lower teams in the club for a long time and have earned their shot. You two know exactly what that's like and have grabbed it, and there's no reason why those three I've just named won't. They're all top quality individuals.
I guess.
And then Noah and Aseni. The
Yeah.
fact that those guys have been getting up at 5 a.m. coming down here and hitting the gym.
Aseni's looking good.
They there's so much potential in those two. Moses a prop as well. That's awesome. So it's going to be a great season, watching everyone just show us what they got and the structures that coaches have been putting around all our talent to let people, it's a bit of a cliche term, but express themselves. That's how people enjoy their footy and keep coming back, and that's how you build those great cultures that people want to be a part of. So,
and I guess there's a great opportunity. Like I think you numbered out a lot of different locks too. I think we've kind of had some people move on for various reasons. So it'd be cool to see people like Adam McGrandle and Ciali actually solidify some spots, and they've been grinding away. So for different reasons, like McGrandle.
We've got Jack Reese as well.
Jack Reese,
he's been captain of the Colts for the last couple of years, so making his way into a senior squad would be really good to see.
He's actually picked his voice up, which has been quite exciting to hear.
Dropped his vape in the team.
Can't be doing that.
I've never seen anyone look so scared so far this year.
Cool. We shift into kind of like a top 15 of players that you've played with.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got 15, but we could start with...
I do.
forward pack of some sort?
This was the only question I was pre-given.
Was it hard to
Yeah, was it hard?
Some positions were hard because some positions there's, just so many standout players that I've played with over the years. But some positions are just super easy because the years that I was playing, there was just one person that was
just dominant in
dominant of that. So,
What was the hardest position, do you reckon?
halfback.
Oh, thanks.
And it's not it's not because it's you.
Grateful.
the biggest pest? Or?
Yeah, I literally did. Like, we haven't had a non-pesty halfback forever, right? And and I've ended up with who I think is the biggest pest, and I'm sure his wife will attest to that as well. But it's very deserving of the spot. And then there's guys that I've played with and have just been blown away by the fact that I've had the opportunity to play with them as well, because I don't consider them in my league. They're always a league up from me, so that's pretty cool.
And that's on some of that chat that we had today. I think, was it you or someone else who had brought it up, right? Like, when we looked around the room today, I don't think we fully sort of understand that, in 2-3 years' time, some of those kids sitting in there will be moving on to higher honours, and you sit back and you think, man, I got to share like a changing room or a field with that person.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Or like Brock and I have been here 10 years, and you think about how many people have gone on since. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird thinking I'm one of the oldest in the room, but I feel like I've only been here 5 minutes. But
43 though, mate.
Anyway,
Sweet.
yeah,
So,
starting 15.
Luni,
Yeah.
Moananu,
Yeah.
goes without saying.
Goes without saying.
Absolute legend. I went for Andrew Castle, hooker. And that was
that's a
Shout out to AC.
that's not just because I want him to do things around the club. I went to school with AC. Played rugby with him down at Dunedin as well. So, I've got a good solid long-term rugby relationship and friendship with AC. So, lock that in. Number 3, Judd Baker, history maker, club legend. And it was awesome. He ground out in Prem 2s for years, and then ended up being the captain of the Premier team. So, and his family connections as well, obviously with Froggy being his old man.
Yeah.
Rates himself as our fantasy coach as well.
Oh, he rates himself in all sorts of stuff. But he's earned it on the rugby field, in my eyes, Yeah. Locks, I've gone with Cam Garvey, who's another long-term good mate of mine, but also one of the toughest players I reckon I've ever seen. His ability,
especially for his size too. Like, he's not like the biggest man, is he?
Yeah. But you did say
he's quite. He's quite like, some of the locks that are running
exactly.
around.
No, I had a lot of respect for Cam. The other guy was Daniel Ramsey, who had a few seasons with us as a professional that Wellington had signed out of Southland. He was quality. Lucy's P, Mr. Paluni, goes without saying. Masafo as well as open side. He I've never seen anyone make post contact meters in the way Mussy could as a 7.
And keeps moving.
Yeah. And then Chris Brightwell, number 8, same reasons. Ended up playing England 7s when he went over there. Again, just a guy just stoked to shed the field with someone with that talent.
Big number 9.
Yeah, number 9. I've got 2 here. It's a bracketed position. Guy Ferguson. More for his speeches at prize giving.
You need someone to speak, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, particularly when they're talking about off the wall things like how much McDonald's someone else in the room could eat when they're 12 years old and whatnot. And Fokker, Brad Faulkner. And he played 100 games, scored a try in his 100th game with a torn hamstring. Watch him limp down to the left-hand touch and get over the line. But he was a good man to play with and a good man to have around the club.
That's his young fellow Bentley that's been showing up there.
Yeah, Bentley's been showing up and doing some pre-season,
cool.
but he's still at Dub C. I was talking to him on Saturday. He's going to be in one of the first or seconds. I think he's at sixth form this year. And Harrison's been playing for the Colts the last couple of games as well. He's a big cricket man as well, Harrison. So so it's awesome to see him out there and see the Faulkners coming through. 10, the man who won us the Hardham Cup in 2012, Mikey Cody, the Milky Bar kid.
He's on the country, isn't he?
He hasn't texted me. He hasn't texted me for years, man. It's all with mates. Midfield, Hunts, just because of his ability to keep going. He made his Premier debut before I did. So yeah, he's outstanding. Yeah. And then Toli Alvaa. He's class. Yeah, so it's good to have someone classy in there to balance Hunts. Wings, I've gone Marika Cow and Ambrose. They were the wingers back in like that 2009, 2010.
I took Mark Marika on my debut.
Did you? What were you doing on the wing? Was he playing Lucy?
Were they running 1-3-3-1?
Long time ago.
Yeah. He was the man, eh?
Yeah, he was so good. And
he was like so unreliable off the field.
But on the field.
But he'd just turn up and it didn't matter. Like if he turned up 5 minutes before a game, you'd have to play him because he was that good.
Yeah. And it was worse because I tried to switch to the other wing. Ambrose was standing on the other wing.
Mate, Ambrose was the tallest guy in club rugby and one of the fastest, eh? So, yeah, when you got big wingers like that, it's pretty cool. And then fullback, I've just gone back to the old white battler, Michael Sage. More for the fun that he would be starting off the field and then the on-field. But he's equally good, comfortable on field. But yeah, he's a good fella to have around the club, good club man. Who's taken up golf in a big way and
he started a YouTube channel.
Started his YouTube channel, yeah. So just a shout out plug for his YouTube channel, But yeah, that's the 15.
Solid 15. You got a captain in there?
P. Yeah. He was my Premier captain when I played Premier. So
again,
the
someone
man who wants
that can speak to the cows come home and kind of get you motivated is P.
Well, he didn't even have to speak because we played OBU up at Namville and he broke his arm like hitting the ceiling in the changing room before the game and then went and played and then realised that he couldn't and came off after about 5 minutes. But you know, anyone who's prepared to do weird things like that, yeah, I got them. So yeah, that's my 15.
Nice.
Yeah,
solid. Any last little kind of
any honourable mentions?
Yeah, honourable mentions.
Kelvin Harper.
Yeah.
Only because he looks so disappointed. At 12. All my mates, like guys like Scotty, Lance, Reese, Alex McIntyre, those guys that I went to school with and played with here. You know, that's why I really enjoyed my time here, was because I was playing with that tight group. You know, and we see it today. Like we're a team, but you can see the guys that are real tight mates, and you need that in a team to make the team what it is, you know, to set that culture. So yeah, that was awesome. Scotty Baines, another one that was in there, even though he couldn't keep his shoulders together. So yeah, those are some good honourable mentions that I'll chuck out there. There's been some awesome coaches too that we've had over the years. Not just obviously with this year, we've got some great coaches and some committed guys, but yeah, as I said earlier, Waddy, Jacko and Seeds have left a big mark on me. Jed Tyne as well, who coached the Prem 2s. He was awesome. So yeah, there's good people that get circulated through this club and that stay in the club, you know. Yeah. I think one of the big things from that perspective is when you look at those honours boards out there, you see the names of like Premier captains, and then 10, 15 years later you see their names pop up in the other leadership, administrative positions in the club. So yeah, there's repetitive family names up there as well, you know, the likes of the Garveys, Duncan, our current club patron, he's been a big part of my Pōneke journey as well. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome, bro. Well, thanks, Ando, for jumping on. Appreciate all the stuff that you do around the club. I did say it was a thankless job, but around being club captain, but I know you get the treats. But yeah, thanks for jumping on, brother. Appreciate you.
Happy days. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where this podcast goes as well, and when those guests get bigger and better than the rubbish you start off with.
That's why we started with you.
Good job, bro.
Cool. Sweet. Cheers, fellas.
Shane.